Well, good morning and greetings, everyone. Welcome to, you know what I didn't do? Welcome to CyberCast IRL. You know what I didn't do? I didn't adjust my microphone. And I hate when I do that. Why do I do it? This is a cybersecurity show, kids. But you got to be able to hear me. That will help. That will absolutely help. Why? It turns me down to like completely too low. But now I should be nice and heard. Welcome, everyone. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. Hope you got to celebrate with family. I hope you got to eat too much turkey and that nothing went bad. You didn't get burned by, frying a turkey or anything like that. You set your house on fire. Those things happen. And I'm being a little tongue in cheek, but, I feel bad for anybody that did have something like that happen because we want to have nice holidays. We want to enjoy the holidays. We want to enjoy getting together, sitting around the table with our loved ones, breaking bread. And just being together, not having to work, that kind of stuff. Lots of fun. So hopefully that's how it went for you. That is how it went for your boy Dan here today. So, but I'm here. It's Friday. It is time for CyberCast IRL. I'm starting to see everyone's starting to roll in. I guess they're pulling. They're jumping in the old raid coming from the Simply Cyber crew, the jaw jacking Jerry and all the good folks there. I see Tech Grunt. I see Sunshine 24/7. Good morning. Good morning, Marcus Kyler. Port Zero Cyber Solutions, Find the True, Justin DeJong, Rhonda Rummerfield. Good to see you, Rhonda. I loved our witty banter and exchange this morning. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Thank you so much. Phil Stafford in the house. Rogue Outlaw 11, Amish Runaway. What's up? And my wife. Great folks in the chat and more to come. Thank you all for joining me this morning. I hope you had, like I said, a great Thanksgiving, but I hope your Friday's even better. Because it's Black Friday, right? It's time for you to get out and go consumer crazy. We get all those deals. Get the deals. You can't let the deals get away from you. You get an 85-inch TV for $4,750. And I don't mean $4,750, right? I'm a little off this morning, but I had a good time with Jerry and Jaw Jacking this morning. We talked a lot about being in an interview and what that's like. I've gotten to do that quite a bit here recently, so I'm speaking from recent experience on that stuff. So if you're out there in the interview rounds, you're actually making it into an interview, you do not want to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. That is for sure. You want to get in there and you want to do really, really well. And that's a weird thing that Phil Stafford is saying. He says, drops, pitch, and my wife. In a very loving and humble tone, because I love my wife so much. But he's got a frowny face. It's a strange thing, Phil. I'm not understanding what's going on there. But anywho, where are we at here today? Well, you know what we got to do? We got to get into, excuse me, man, I need a monster so bad this morning. I can already taste it. So I'm ready to get ahead and get at it, because there's the camo cup. I'm not even messing around. I'm just going to grab we got Ultra Vice Guava today, because I'm ready to get infused. I need my tackling fuel. So let's get to this thing. Crack time. Here we go. Give me a good crack today. Give me a good crack. Here we go. Oh, it did not fail to deliver. That was actually a decent one right there. Okay. Pour. Yeah. Here we go. Pour. Actually, get it to where you can hear it. Okay, slow your roll there, Lowry. Here we go. We are getting a good pour. Okay. There's just a drip left, but that was it. That was... Whoa, totally missed the mark on that one. It shot out like a crazy person. Well, you see, accidents do happen here in the studio. Man, that's tasty. Golly, I needed that bad boy this morning. I could not wake up. I was so tired. It's all the tryptophan, right? Sorry, Duke Norris. You missed the pour. We went at it a little early, man. I'm needing the fuel. Starting to feel the effervescence invigorate my brain. Gotta wake the old noggin up. Oh, man. Well, let's jump into chat, because I already see a really good like question or comment. Let's from Lost Packet. By the way, if you do have a question or comment, let's jump into the old chat here. Here it is, rocking and rolling. You can see Rhonda Rummerfield saying, I have been working on my Ultra Paradise since 4 a.m. It's a good one. It's a good one. We're going to get to Lost Packet here. But if you want to drop me a question, make sure you at my name like Sunshine24777 has, because it makes it really easy for me to see what's going on and stand out from just the rest of the chatter going on here. Oh, Phil was saying it sounded less enthusiastic. No, it was more of a reverental tone that's going on there. Because I love my wife. Let's see here. So, yeah. So, like Tech Grunt did. See, Tech Grunt says, Daniel Lowry with a well-executed salvage sip. Yeah, and then I poured it all over my desk. I thought, oh, this is going to go right in. And it shot right past the cup. It did not want to go down the old gullet today. But let's get to Lost Packet. Right? I like this. At least I find it interesting. I kind of skimmed this question. It says, hi, Daniel. I'm a little bit confused between, or I assume that means between BTW, CEH, Pentest Plus, HR, Gloried Certs, and EJPT, which weighs more on my offensive resume. So this is a phenomenal first topic for us to get at, right? Because it's the age-old question. What's the best cert to get that's going to get me past the HR, right? To get me in interviews, to get me to the job that I'm looking for. Where should I spend my money? Should it be CEH? Should it be Pentest Plus? Should it be EJPT? Should I go PJPT? Should I just jump right into something like OSCP? I hear you. So it's funny. So CEH for a long time was kind of like the thing. Everybody knew what CEH was. Everybody knew where it was. They also had a bit of a reputation. I always say this. Had a bit of a reputation that you didn't necessarily come out of a win in the CEH certification realm with the skills and abilities that you would think you would have to do that type of work, to do offensive security type of work, right? So it built this reputation of being like a lot of sizzle, not a lot of steak kind of thing. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Where it was flashy, it was cool, it's called Certified Ethical Hacker. I mean, come on. What better name for an offensive cert than Certified Ethical Hacker? CEH rolls right off the tongue. You know, it was one of the first, if not the first. Well, yeah, I think it is one of the first like ethical hacking certs. But it, at least in my opinion, it became a bit of a money grab. You got these giant books, or, you know, eventually went to an online, they didn't even want to give you books anymore. You went to an online thing so that you couldn't keep your stuff. You'd have to go get into the web app so that you could access the material. And then, yeah, but it built a reputation with HR as well. HR knew that this is a thing that I can, if you have that on your resume, then that's like, oh, okay, you know something. You've got that cert. It's kind of an industry standard. And of course, the accordion moves like the accordion moves, right? So you've got things that are happening, and then reality that just kind of hangs out right here. As far as like HR and things that get on job posts and their understanding of what's happening, but things are still moving until it finds like, we've hit on something really new. We got to sit here and work on it, and then this starts to catch up with that, right? So that's what happens. That's kind of how things move. It kind of like moves along like this. Right now, it's still like OSCP is kind of like the HR bypass cert still, but that seems to be moving away. We start to see things in more favor of PNPT. We see that, or CAPE or something like that, more red team, more pen testing focus. Pentest Plus kind of came in there. It was a little... it was coming around at the same time. EJPT had come out, and CompTIA is going, we're leaving some money on the table over here. Everybody's running over here for CEH. they're getting these new certs from INE or eLearn Security at the time with EJPT and ECPPT. And then OSCP is there. And that's kind of what it was with CEH. And that was what it was for a hot minute. And of course, there was the GIAC stuff, but no one can afford that. Right? You got to go sit a $9,000 course to get GPen. And then, then it goes. But now we've got, like I was saying this on Jerry's show this morning. It's like we have a glut of certifications because everybody started to see there is a bunch of money to be made in certifications. Microsoft is sitting over there going, oh, don't I know it? Right? Anyway, so when it comes to your question or your comment, let's go back there. Let me hit that bad boy. You're still a little confused. Let's go back. Between CEH, Pentest Plus. So let's talk about the difference between CEH and Pentest Plus really quickly, and then we'll talk about the difference between those and EJPT. So CEH and Pentest Plus are meant to be certifications that are geared toward not just skills, but toward being the job. Now, I think Pentest Plus does a better job of that than the CEH does. They have upped their game over the years. But I think that when CompTIA came out, they did it really well. They said, oh, let's just make it about the things that a pen tester would do. They would set up pre-engagement. They would have meetings and calls about ROE and scope. And then you would have to do documentation for that kind of stuff. And CEH, they just gave you just a massive amount of information and dumped it. It was a fire hose. And then there, in my opinion, again, the training that they had wasn't great. The official training is something like a 2-week sit down with somebody that is just fire hosing you information and then going, good luck. You need more time than that. And you need depth to that, which at the time, that's what I was kind of doing. I was filling that gap. I made CEH content. I built CEH courses that dove into that stuff. We did not just kind of go, hey, learn what these things are, learn what these tools are, and where they kind of fit in the role. No, it was like, hey, here's what this tool is. Let me get you familiarized with it, and let's see what it does. So I was trying to build that. So you didn't have to worry about going to sit some 2-week training that you spent $2,500, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on. You got to sit a course for $30 or whatever, and you could do it at your own pace. That's why the pros and cons for every kind of training. We have talked about this many times in the past. So it was all about the training that was bad with CEH, at least in my opinion. And Pentest Plus, they have the CompTIA is really good at study guides. Their CertMaster Learn, I heard a lot of people were not satisfied with the CertMaster Learn stuff. And I've made Pentest Plus. I have a Pentest Plus course available right now. And I kind of went there because it's everybody knows CompTIA, right? CompTIA is an easy win for people as far as putting something on their resume. It's not too difficult. It's not extremely expensive. It's gotten more pricey now that they've gotten acquired. But it's a good baseline of knowledge. And of course, I do what I do in my own training where I'm like, okay, here we go. Let me familiarize you with something and let's mess around with it a little bit and show you kind of how it works. So I do a lot of demos, and then you get to pace yourself on what you learn with that. So that's the one is an ethical hacking, the other is a pen testing. There is a difference between the two things, but it's kind of for most people's intents and purposes, it's very similar. Okay. And then EJPT was very skills based. It focused on the skills specifically. I thought it was a very good cert. I enjoyed taking it. I thought the training was really good. It's been a few years since I've done it, obviously, but I'm hopefully it's only gotten anything but better. And I haven't heard a lot of people complaining about it, so I can only that makes me feel like they're still doing a pretty good job. I enjoyed the exam, and I don't say that about many exams, but I did enjoy their exam. Because it was kind of like a scavenger hunt. It was like, how many cross-site scripting vulnerabilities were in this web app? What was the password for user Bob on the FTP server? That kind of stuff. And then you would have to give the right answer. And only if you had the skills to go into their environment and find out that information would you be able to answer those questions. It was that simple. So it was really cool. I like that format. If you're going to do something that's not, and they did. I mean, you did get into a cyber range and you had to do hacking stuff. But instead of capturing a flag, you answered a question about the environment, right? That's how that worked. I thought that was a really interesting format. I liked that a lot. But again, so there's your difference in the types of things, and it's going to kind of come down to HR or not HR, but the people that are hiring you necessarily. If those certs are on, here I am doing this. If those certs are on a job post, obviously that's, if it's the jobs you're looking at that you're interested in are saying something like CEH or Pentest Plus or whatever, obviously that's what you're going to want to go for. That's going to give that value there. But if it says, or, similar like certification or other industry standard certification, like EJPT is a known entity. INE is a known entity. eLearn Security, known entity. Or INE now, was eLearn Security in the past. The EJPT, the CPPT, people know their stuff, and I don't hear a lot of bad news about them. The same kind of thing, like I don't know too many people that took the Pentest Plus and was like, I hated it. Most people that I've talked to, almost invariably, now that I'm thinking about it, they were like, I actually enjoyed that exam. It was a good test. It tested you well, and it wasn't crazy on like trying to like, haha, gotcha on that question. Oh, see how we do when we test you on how well you take a test. They seem to have kind of moved a bit away from that, at least in my experience with it lately. So I like Pentest Plus. I refuse to take CEH. I refuse to. It's just it's just whatever. They're too expensive in my opinion. They're too expensive. It's like, come on, bro. In this economy, you're trying to charge me out the wazoo for CEH. If it was 5 years ago, even then, I thought it was too expensive. When other certs started coming out with better quality and better skills, better training, it's like that was a no-brainer. It was like, see ya, CEH. Hopefully that helps you answer your question. All right, let's go see what I've missed. Oh, goodness. I know I missed a lot. Let's see here. Poor. Happy Friday. Okay, cool. I've caught up. Good. I'm sure we have a lighter than normal crew, but I'm glad for everyone that showed up today. You see, the brain's kicking in now. The juice has made its way into the bloodstream, tackling fuel, and now I'm ready to jet. Let's see here. Kathy Chambers. What's up, Kathy? Did you get your course posted with InfoSec Pat? Yes, I did. Thank you for helping me bring that up. Speaking of courses, you know what I got to do is I got to go find that link. I do not have it like at the ready. I'm a dummy. All right, let's go to, no, I can't go there. I can't. I have to do this. New, do I have a private window? I'm trying to use DuckDuckGo because I'm logged in and I want you guys to see our dashboard. But anyway, at InfoSec Pat, now it feels like my microphone is hot. Is the microphone coming in too hot? Y'all let me know. Let's see here. How do I get to that? Let me, just give me a second here. We will totally get to that. Did I kill that? I did. I'm an idiot. Let me go to courses. I made a junior web app pen testing course for InfoSec Pat. Me and him bunked up at Simply CyberCon, and we had a great talk. And he was like, "Dude, you should make me a junior web app pen testing course. Crank that out." I was like, "Okay, I will do that." And so I did. And then, and it was kind of fun. We had a good time. Let me see if I can. I want to preview this. I guess I got to go to preview. Booyah. Here we go. That's what I want to do. Here it comes. Booyakasha. Let me do that. And now we're set to jet. All right. Look at that. Junior Web App Penetration Testing course. You've got 31 or 2 episodes. Look at all that. Strictly focused on web app stuff. So if you're just looking to get into some web app stuff, you're like, you know what? I've learned a bit about security and I'm good with operating systems. I'm good with networks a little bit. I'm ready to kind of really learn some hacking skills and stuff that you can kind of really sink your teeth into. Just the basics of getting into. So you learn a little bit about web and web security basics. We even talk a little bit about scoping and rules of engagement. We go into recon and OSINTs and performing target recon and OSINT a little bit. Setting up Burp Suite. We go into a bit of a tour de force of Burp Suite, as it were. Common web app vulnerabilities and attacks. So we'll be doing some directory brute forcing, authentication, file inclusions, directory traversal, IDORs, cross-site scripting, CSRF, session hijacking, SSRF, command and code injection, SQL injections, using SQL map, SSTI, insecure file uploads, JWT attacks, WordPress, and API testing. There you go. So got quite a few stuff there, right? We got a bit to look into. So if you're interested in web app pen testing, this can definitely get you going, get your feet wet, get your hands on some stuff, get to build your own labs and do that. Have some fun with virtualization and some really great stuff that you can use for testing and learning. You can break it, you can rebuild it because you can make snapshots, everything like that. So lots of fun there. I always prefer building everything within my own lab because you learn a lot. You get to spend, if you're doing what I'm doing, you're going to be like a lot of Docker compose up and Docker pull and Docker P. Like you'll use a lot of Docker and you'll install some stuff into virtualization. I make all those resources available either in the episode notes themselves, because each one of these things have their own episode notes, but also in here in the course overview, I make a lot of stuff available as well. So thanks, Kathy, for bringing that up. All right, so let's see here. And right now it's $20. It's a $20 course with your Black Friday sale. So go grab that. Otherwise, it's going to be $30 normally. Carrie, coming in hot with the opinion. Certs are BS. I have 2 certs that are supposed to be good and haven't ever been looked at from CompTIA. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I definitely can tell you this. If someone sold you on the dream that certs will get you an interview, that is not something they should have said. That what it does is it lets someone who is looking at you go, all right, so I'm going to assume this kind of knowledge from you, right? So I can get where you would get that idea. And if you're leaning really heavily on your certifications, they better be really high level certifications, ones that most people don't have, right? Or are considered to be very difficult to obtain. That's the kind of thing. That's where you can lean a bit heavier on your certs solely. That's why it's really important to say, yeah, I've got my, A+ and my Net Plus and my Security Plus, the old trifecta from CompTIA, or something similar. Or maybe you just have 1 or 2 of those. But not only have I done that, I have, and I know Kerry has done this as well. He's done some computer repair. So if he's got his A+ and he's doing computer repair as well, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Now you're doing more. Right now, it's just a really, really tough job market, like super tough. Anybody that tells you opposite is selling you something. This job market is no joke right now. So it might not be, because even seasoned pros with years of experience and banger certifications, they're saying it's taking like on average 9 months to 12 months for people to find a job as soon as they hit the market. And that's because of layoffs mostly, right? Like layoffs and automations and things of that nature that are starting to go, oh, you know what? We don't need as many people to do this. I can just hire the best of the best, right? And now you're in competition with them. So yeah, they got that stuff too, plus 20 years on you. It's not as simple as the certs, even though there are some BS certs out there. I'm not going to name those names because that's not the business I want to get in. I want you to make your own opinions on that. Let's see here. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah. That grunt. I love it. As Daniel Lowry looks for the link, talk amongst yourselves. I will give you a topic. Victor Rosa. In every job I have been, I noticed that the first, second years are tough. I assume that's what you meant. Tough, not thought. However, after your third, your voice starts to have a meaning. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, no, I mean, I can see that. Just depends. I mean, that's probably a good general assessment. I could get down with that. That you start a job, you're the new person. You're just kind of learning the ropes. You're getting your feet wet. You're getting acclimated to what's going on. You're learning the systems, and the more into the systems you get, the more you start to see the rough spots. And then as you see then it moves you into year 2, right? And in year 2, you're like, okay, how can we fix this? And then people know you know what you're doing because you're starting to implement fixes that you've come up with on your side, and they see that, oh, you know what? Victor Rosa doesn't seem to have as much trouble with this system as everybody else does. What is he doing that's different than what we're doing? And they go, hey, Victor, how come you're so good at this? Oh, well, I noticed this, I noticed that, and I started implementing these kind of fixes. I would love to help everybody else do that as well. Let me create some documentation. So I can totally, like I said, get down with that assessment. That if you're around long enough and you're smart enough, you don't just go, well, I guess this is my job. You start to see the problem and come back with solutions. Absolutely, people are going to start to listen. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Happy belated Thanksgiving, James McQuiggan. Good to see you, Jimmy McHugh. I am glad to see him. James McQuiggan is a solid man. Good friend, good guy. You need somebody. If you know James McQuiggan, you're good to go. Let's see here. Tech Grunt. Oh, yeah. Looks for the link. Okay. Where are we at here? Okay. Thank you, Marcus Kyler. Yeah, I saw it peaking a little bit. Maybe I turned it up a wee bit too much. Just a wee bit too much. Let's fix that. Let's take it down here. Let's try that. Hopefully that is better. Yeah, it's not nearly as. So I can see the colored meter. I've got the green and the yellow and then the red, and it was solidly in the red quite often. So thank you. Feel free to anybody. If the sound ever goes off, I know that everybody enjoys the sound the most. Like that, when I first started YouTube, that was the first thing that people were saying. You got to get the sound right. You got to get the sound right. Video can be garbage. The sound has got to be on point. So I hate that Windows kind of takes over on that. I don't know why it's doing that. It should go to where I set it and then not do anything else. I will adjust. Thank you. Now, because I'm a Ron Popeil kind of guy. I want to set it and forget it. But no, Windows has other things it thinks it should do. Huntsy TechRent says, a new Daniel Lowry course? Shut up and take my money. Well, I hope you enjoy it. TechRent says, Dr. Pepper, not a doctor, not a pepper. Oh, that was your comment. Yeah. I'll give you welcome to Coffee Talk. For all of us that grew up with that Saturday Night Live. Best crew, I'm sorry. I mean, it's objectively true. There's been other really good crews on Saturday Night Live, but the heavy hitters that came out of that, you got to admit, it was fire. Carrie says, yeah, I got sold that. I have A+, and I guessed my way through Sec+. I mean, if you guessed your way through Sec+, does that mean you really didn't have the Security Plus, knowledge that you should have had to be able to answer your way through Security Plus, and maybe you're struggling on the security information because you just got lucky by guessing, right? And then you get into an interview and people are like, oh, he doesn't really know. I mean, I don't know that that's the case. I'm putting it out there, right? Because these things are supposed to, this is the way certifications are supposed to work. They're supposed to prove a set of knowledge, like a knowledge foundation. And if you get into an interview and all of a sudden, because I've had somebody tell me that one time, they were like, oh yeah, I passed the pen test plus. This was a few years ago. I passed the pen test plus, and then they gave me a technical interview and I bombed it. They were asking me questions like, what Nmap switch is this? And what SQL map, what's an automated tool for SQL injection? I'm like, how did you pass pen test plus and you don't know that? That doesn't make any sense. And they're like, so I'm like, did you either like guess your way through, or even worse, you use some sort of, brain dump? Because if you're doing that, then that for everyone lowers how valuable those certifications are. If they're not really proving what you know, because you either guessed your way through it and you got lucky, or whatever the case is, that wasn't, I know this information, took the test and smoked it, then that may be working against you in the interview process. Yeah, now Carrie's got that job cleaning the school. Yeah, I'm glad you got that too, bro. That's good stuff, man. Work that job and then just keep chipping away at building real skills. And then put those skills in the resume, get it out there, right? Like, and then hopefully you'll get some interviews on that, and then you can level up. Or maybe since you're in the school system now, you can start pushing for a job on their technical side of things. Start telling anybody that will listen. You get into conversations with people at work and you're like, man, I've actually done a lot of tech stuff. I'd love to, if there was ever an opening in the tech department here at the school or in the school system, on the school board, whatever the case is, man, I've got those skills. I can help out with that. That would be what I would be doing. And saying, honestly, I would love to help volunteer even my time if I can. Just want to be a part of the show. Just want to be help. I've given that advice to other people and they've done it and it has been very successful to them. I'm not guaranteeing you that will happen, right? I'm not that person, but it's possible. Space Tacos. How common is it for IT or cybersecurity professional to let their certifications expire who have zero consequences? Or is that something from the good old days? I don't know. I let mine expire. I would say right now is not a good time to let your certifications expire. Right? So if you're staring down the barrel of my cert is about to expire, I would get them, because you do not know whether or not a layoff is coming. You do not know whether or not they're going to be downsizing or consolidating or going in a different direction. You never know. At this point in time, you cannot guarantee that your job will be there tomorrow. So I would highly recommend that if your certs are about to expire, that you recertify. Okay? That way, if you do find yourself on the layoff list, you have... And the good news is like, even if you did, you're like, oh, they just expired, and now Daniel's telling me I shouldn't do that. You're still probably fine because they're not that old. But if your certs are like 5 years old, now it's like, crap, now I got to go recertify. If you already have a job and your certs have expired, I would start recertifying on very specific things on whatever job role it is you're doing. Just go ahead and get that. See if you can get your organization to pay for it, right? And just go ahead and make sure it's fresh. Then they'll feel like, if you do get your organization to pay for it, they'll feel like they are investing into you so that you'll stick around. And that's exactly what it is you're trying to do, is stick around. Right? Say, I want to make sure I'm giving you the best work product I can. I want to make sure my skills are current and ready to go. So sell it like that. Like you are investing back into their organization and that the skills that they're helping you get. And if they want you to go, oh, cool, don't press. Just be like, oh, I just didn't know if we had a budget for professional developments and that kind of stuff for this year. If not, just Save your pennies, go out, recertify, do what you got to do, and just make sure that you are marketable and ready just in case. Because I'm going to tell you right now, from experience, those calls come out of nowhere. They keep that stuff under lock and key. There will be signs, but if you're thinking I'm safe, never assume you're safe. Okay? Even if you are safe, don't assume it. Just prepare. Right? It's like insurance. It's why we pay for insurance. So that if the unfortunate thing happens, you're good to go. Okay? That's what's up. That's my bit of advice. Let's see here. Carrie. We're having a Carrie conversation, but that's fine. Phil says, Ron Popeil, who's gonna get that? Phil, you love to like dig people, don't you, son? You're having a good time there. Who's gonna? Yeah, that's fine. I don't care if only the old people get that. You see, the assumption there was that I cared. Oh, goodness gracious. We're having fun today. Preaching the gospel. Do you see the light? I will make you believe. You darn right I will. Okay, so let's move on. Moving on. Carrie, yeah, says, yes, I'm stupid with Sec Plus. I studied for the Sec Plus test, and when I sat for the test, I just guessed it and passed by 2 questions. I guess I will just stay a cleaner for the rest of my life. Well, don't get in a pity party, right? We don't want to do that. You maybe if you're bringing an energy level like that to those, like, oh, I'll never get this. You can't have that down. We talked a lot about what it looks like when you do interviews this morning on jaw jacking, right? Is you have to come in confident and ready to roll. And if you don't know something, it's cool to say, I don't know that. And if you're hitting a wall in interviews because they're asking you things and you just don't know stuff, well, brother, you got to understand that that's on your side of the fence, and you got to do some studying. If you're not good at Sec Plus, like you said, your words, I'm stupid at Sec Plus, quote unquote, right? Fix it. That way, the next time you do find yourself in that position to get an interview and they start throwing you questions like that, you're like, oh yeah, dog, I got you. I'm good to go. And you'll be confident. Man, I'll tell you, we all like get anxiety and everything about going into interviews. It was a couple weeks ago. I was going into an interview, right? And it was a technical interview. And it was on something is a bit outside of, like, there were aspects to it that were outside of my purview. So I had a bit of anxiety, right? As soon as the interview started and the first question came out and I opened my mouth, I just became me. I just do me, and I'm good to go. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not anything. There's no anxiety. It's because I'm just going to go in there and be me and present who I am and show them that I even the stuff I don't know what you're talking about or that I've never had experience with, you understand that the only difference between, this is hyperbole, obviously, but the only difference between me and a brain surgeon is they've done it before. I can learn brain surgery if I need to. If you put me in medical classes and let me go through the training, I can do brain surgery. That's all there is to it. I'm confident in my ability to learn and do it quickly enough to be able to handle anything that comes down the pike. So I'm not worried about that. You tell me what I need to go learn, I'll get it learned. Thank you. Next question. Right, so don't let this become a thing where you get this internal, like, anxiety going on and getting down on yourself. I didn't wash my face this morning. My eyes are itchy. Little eye booger. So yeah, because if you do that, you're going to bring that energy to that. It's going to eat you up, bro. And that's not good. That's going to grind you down and make you not feel good enough. It's not going to make you feel like you got to throw that off. You got to stop being like that, man. Just if you're not good at something, go get good at it. That's the simple solution to that stuff. And we're all hoping for you. We're glad that you got that job and we want to see you do well. but don't be your own worst enemy. Okay, bro? Let's see here. Tech Grunt, how did you pass the Pen Test Plus and not know that? Yeah. I would assume it was a brain dump. That was my thought on this. That was a brain dump. Yep, Marcus Kyler says the brain dumps will always catch up to you. They will. And then it makes the cert look bad, and that's not the cert's fault that you went out and brain dumped junk. Right? But you start to see value behind those things, and what does that do? That tanks the market for people trying to get into it, because you're flooding the market with people with paper certs. They're paper tigers. They get into the job. They don't know what they're doing. Then the people that hire them got to fire them and rehire somebody and go, well, I didn't like someone. They said they had X, Y, or Z cert. I'm not hiring somebody with that cert. Devalues the certification. Now, over the people that spent the money and time, that do have the skills, that did take the training and did learn the material, now they've been devalued. It's not fair. So like, oh my goodness, grifters, please. You ruin it for everyone. I swear, if I catch a grifter in a dark alley, it won't be good. Keith Sloan, time to get some work done. Going to start on my video. Thanks for the advice and jaw jacking. You are absolutely welcome, Keith. Have a great day. Okay, Carrie. I think I saw Carrie. Oh man, I love when that thing jumps on me. Oh yeah, he said he passed the A+. I know how to build computers and fix them. I talked to an IT guy after that. Heard me talk Linux. I got dismissed after about 5 seconds. Not sure how to do that. I don't understand what that means. I talked to one IT guy, and after he heard me talk Linux, I got dismissed after about 5 seconds. Okay. I can't tell you what happened in that conversation, Carrie. You were there, not me. So, what was his body language like? You just said Linux was like, did Linux kill his father? Is that what happened? He's like, Linux is the devil, and he ran screaming. I mean, that happens. There's nothing you can do about that. If he just decided one day in his mind that Linux was the great Satan, what are you going to do? He's an ignorant guy. You're going to run into that from time to time. That's why you cannot, like, it's not good advice to be like some sort of where you're marked out for, I am a Windows fanboy, and Windows is the best operating system ever. Everything else is subpar and stupid. Everything is a tool. Right? This is why people ask me subjective questions. Here we go. Soapbox time. Then we'll do some tech next. Most of the things that we do in life are very subjective, and people like to ask subjective questions as if they are objective. And if you don't understand the difference in those two terms, subjective means your opinion. There is no arguing anyone's opinion. That does not exist. You cannot do it. You cannot ask me what the best blank is. You can only ask me what the best blank is for blank. And that is going to be my opinion. The same, so objective things are like, it doesn't matter who is looking at this. It is a fact. It is objectively true. Regardless of the circumstance, regardless of the person, it is always true. Those are objective facts. So objective facts are usually a whole lot easier to answer because we all have come to the same conclusion. After much observation, we go, oh yeah, that's a true statement right there, right? The human body does not survive without oxygen. That's an objective fact. You have to have oxygen. Regardless of how you get the oxygen into the body, that's a different question. But humans without oxygen will die, right? That's just how that works. Subjective means like, what's the best X, Y, or Z? What should I blah, blah, blah. And if you've become where, and I learned this from Adam Gordon because he used to always answer me very like, well, it depends. And I hated that. But now as I've gotten older, I get it. Depends on what you're talking about. What's the circumstance? What's going on there? How do we do this? What's the best way? I don't know. What's your environment like? What's your preference? What's your business objectives? right? And everybody's different. Everybody's got a little thing they might have similarities, but you got to get into the details. And that's the big thing, right? So if someone can't run it because you talked about Linux, that's a closed off mindset. I don't know why they would be adverse to talking about Linux. Again, you were in that conversation. We weren't. That's it. So that makes it difficult for us to go, well, that guy's an idiot. Or maybe you were like spouting some weird rhetoric about Linux and he was right to walk. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what was true in that conversation, my bro. But I'm assuming the best out of you. So if that is the case, then something was weird and off on that guy. Right? Yeah. The details, man. Pay attention to the small details. That's what's up. TechGrun11 says, new meme idea. One does not simply let their certs expire. Yeah. Not simply. No, they don't. Marcus Kyler says, where's that Jordan meme? I think Daniel Lara took that personally. LOL. Phil Stafford. Phil just likes to give a good dig, I've noticed. And I took that personally. So funny. So funny. So Carrie, I guess we're having a Carrie conversation today. And then we're going to go to TechNex. We'll plow through all the stuff. I'll do my best to be quick because I'm the one controlling the conversation here. So it was a good while back when I was asked about networking and I said that I only had book knowledge. Didn't have time to tell them that I could learn more, and he looked at me like I was stupid. Well, then he's an a-hole, right? Like, do you want to work for that guy? If that's going to be the relationship, is that where you want to live? I don't think so. I might be able to do it for a season because I need to work. Yeah, right? But I'm immediately looking for the exit hatch. Yeah, man, you're welcome. Listen, I don't say anything to hurt anybody. I'm just trying to give you good advice. And sometimes that's getting over ourselves. Guilty included, right? Let's see here. Tech Run. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it. Right. Gee whiz. People like me. Right. Exactly. You are hired, Dr. Larry. I love the freaking confidence. Yeah, you got to have good confidence, man. If you wouldn't be there if they didn't think you could do the job. They just got to make sure that you're not blowing smoke and that you're a good culture fit. That's all there is to this. This is not rocket science. You go in there, you have a good time, you keep everybody at ease, and hopefully you check enough of the skills box after that they think, man, this is the person we want on our team. What is the best blank? Blank is the best blank. Space Tacos. Because when I blank with that blank, I blanking blank. Oh, man. Blank and blank. That's a weird one. Yeah, no, don't stop putting O2 in you. That would be a bad idea. That's the opposite. Making some bold statements about biology here. You're darn right. Have you heard of people that live without breathing? If you have, I would only guess that is an abnormality. And yeah, fun stuff. That is the exception to the exception to the exception. Because I've never heard of anyone living without some means of getting oxygen into their bloodstream. Let's see here. Carrie says the IT guy was busy changing the charger in the box with the cloud computers. I guess me talking to him was bothering me and I went back to cleaning. Yeah, you gotta read the room, bro. If he's busy trying to get work done, and he'll stop and like engage with you, but you gotta see, like you gotta assume everybody's got work to do. And you got to get back to it. It's cool to be able to go, oh, yeah, I'm into IT too. Yeah. Oh, let me let you get back to it, man. Go for it. Like, read whether or not that they can stay engaged. He might have, if he was sitting at lunch and he was willing to, he might have been more than happy to have a longer conversation with you. Any nonfiction book recommendations? Yeah, Lord of the Rings, great stuff, right? Do the whole series if you have not already. Unknown 101. That's a difficult name to read right there, kids. Oh man, we only got 10 minutes left. Okay, Keith Sloan says, I didn't leave as planned. I know you biased by I'm looking at your course for Pensis Plus. Do you recommend? Yeah. Yes, I am. Blankety blank blank blank. All right, let's do some tech next. I find it difficult to watch the chat while I'm doing tech next, but I'll see what I can do. Let's see what we can do here. Let's get this new window, go here, and maybe, just maybe, we can do it like this. And that way I can see the chats. There we go. And let's go grab, excuse me. Here we go. Yeah, this one looked fun. Copy, paste that in, and go. It is time for Tech Next. All right, everybody. Welcome to Tech Next. About to get stupid up in here because your favorite Tech Neck, Billy Bob Lowry here, and Danny Boy, he's left the building. It's Billy Bob Lowry time. And we grew up in the deep south, up here in the woods in Central Florida. We like to learn about technology. I know a bit about that hacking business. And we're going to talk about this here article on the Hacker News. Chinese DeepSeek R1 AI. That's a hell of a thing to say. Generates insecure code when prompts mention Tibet or Uyghurs. I mean, that is a crazy looking name right there. UYGA. Right? I think I'm saying that right when I say Uyghurs. That is a difficult thing. But DeepSeek done learn from its pappy. That's what happened here, right? Good old China, because that's how AI works. I don't know if y'all know that, but AI gets trained off of data from people using it and it feeding them from information, right? So them Chinese people out there having a good time, they're using that internet and everything's running right into old DeepSeek because that's what the Chinese government does. It takes that information, uses it as training weights for DeepSeek. And guess what it's learned? It has learned that all these people bad, right? Doesn't like nothing about no Tibet. Don't like nothing about no Uyghurs. That's how it works. And when you start talking anything about it, says new research from CrowdStrike has revealed that the DeepSeek AI reasoning model in R1 produces more security vulnerabilities. I'm a little drunk. I'm not going to lie. This is not Monster. Daniel drinks Monster. I don't. You know what I drink. That's Mad Dog right there. I mean, it's only 10:52 a.m. Of course, I've been drinking for 4 hours. What you talking about? Let's see here. Vulnerabilities in response to prompts that contain topics deemed politically sensitive by China. We found that when DeepSeek R1 receives prompts containing topics the Chinese Communist Party likely considers politically sensitive, the likelihood of it producing code with severe security vulnerabilities increases by up to 50%, the cybersecurity company said. Oh, man. So basically what it's saying is, remember that kid and he was like, his daddy come in his room and he's like, hey, boy, I found this bull spit in your closet. What's going on here? Where'd you learn to do this? He's like, come on, Dad. You know what's up. Don't even try, old man. You know where I learned that? I watch you do it all the time. You down there rolling a fat hog leg. You'd think I didn't see, but I see everything you do. Little foxes got big ears and big eyes. They're watching. They're listening. Everything you say. Right? So that's what's going on there. And I know you don't like this. And, honestly, CCP is probably like, hell yes. That's exactly how we want to do. Because what I want to do is anybody that's friendly to these things like Tibet and Uyghurs is that if you're trying to write code and you're saying you're friendly to that, then I want to put in a horrible, insecure code into that business. So the AI, that's basically what's happening here, right? Chinese AI company previously attracted national security concerns leading to a ban in many countries. Its open source DeepSeek R1 model has also found to censor topics considered sensitive by the child. How many times are you going to say that? Goodness gracious, it's a word count thing, isn't it? This is a stinking word count thing. I hate that. Quit padding the article, Ravi. Come on, bro, you're better than that. Right? There it is, Ravi Shamanan. I'm not good at reading. Reading is dumb. Anyway, refusing to answer questions about the Great Firewall of China or the political status of Taiwan, among others. In a statement released earlier this month, Taiwan's National Security Bureau warned citizens to be vigilant when using Chinese-made generative AI models from DeepSeek, Dubao. Boy, I tell you what, you got the wrong guy on reading. I can't hardly read English, and now you're throwing Chinese at me, man. Come on. I only made it to the 3rd grade, okay? When you got this many up in your head, you ain't getting these sentences out your mouth. It's just not going to happen. Billy in the back's got a better chance of getting a PhD from Dartmouth than I do reading these words correctly the first time through. That's just how it is. By the way, don't mess with Billy right now. His old lady done kicked him out of the trailer park, and he is madder than a rabid raccoon. Man, we went to the bar last night. Boy went nuts on him, man. Next thing I know, he's got a bucket of hot dough urine going all over him. He kicked him outdoors, and some rutting bucks chased him down the road for a good 500 yards. It was crazy. But man, it was entertaining. I'm not going to lie on that either. All right, so that's a little interesting thing, right? So let's go over here and let's kick that tire. Open this in a new tab. Bring it, CrowdStrike. Let's get a little deeper down the rabbit hole on this. CrowdStrike, counter-adversary operations identified in, good night. Man, you paying by the letter? What the hell? In January 2025, so this is a year ago. Man, anyway, high quality large language. Yeah, we know about DeepSeek. Yeah, right. It's politically sensitive. However, we found that when DeepSeek receives prompts containing Chinese blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, we read that in the other article. Give me more information. This research reveals a new subtle vulnerability surface for the AI coding assistants, given that up to 90% of developers already use these tools in 2025. That's interesting, right? Do we even know how to code anymore? Is that what's up? That's like me going deer hunting or bass fishing and being like, AI, pick the lure, right? Like, where's the fun in it anymore? I'm okay. That's it. It's rant time. Forget you, rest of your article. We get it. DeepSeek learned to be an asshole. That's all there was. That's what it does. Good for it. Be careful. But man, for me, part of the fun of being a human in the world is overcoming obstacles, right? Billy, he's out in the street right now. His old lady, he's got an obstacle. But guess what's going to happen? He's going to buy some flowers and chocolates at the split and get, right? He's going to get that little single rose in that glass tube. I don't know what that's all about, right? He's going to go give that. He's going to say, baby, I'm sorry. I did not mean to tell you that I thought your sister was prettier than you were. And then she's going to go, oh, baby, you're so sweet, right? And then they're going to come closer together. And that's how it's going to work. And because of the difficulty in it, they draw in closer. They have an experience that they went through together. And that's life, man. The good stuff comes from going through obstacles, not trying to avoid them. That's what grows you as a person. Little redneck philosophy 101 going on here today, kiddos. So don't rob yourself of a wonderful experience. Yes, it's going to be tough. Yes, there's going to be some pain. But man, pain makes you tough as hell. Why do you think I can take at least 2 beer bottles to the head before I fall over? Right? When I'm out there street fighting with my friends, and yes, they are my friends, after they get done kicking my teeth in because I said something dumb about their mama, which I knew better than to do, but you know what happens when I get drunker than Cooter Brown? The mouth starts yapping, and I have no control. See, that's an obstacle I need to overcome, right? Is not making fun of my friend's mama when I'm drunk. So There you go. But when I get done, right, we become close. He's like, oh man, now I know you got a line I should not cross. Your mama's off limits when it comes to drunk making fun of people, right? So I'm pretty sure I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about at this point. I have completely, man, I saw Tech Grunt come in there with, I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. That's right. You know, I might be an older gentleman at this point. But here's what I like to do is usually it's a group beating. So once they kick me down, I just latch onto one of them and I take out all the hurt that's happening to me on that dude. And they typically do not return to the fray after that. But hey, what you gonna do? That's what it is. We learned a little bit about DeepSeek today. Man, them Chinese, they having fun with their DeepSeek, aren't they? Man, let me look at these here lovely, lovely chats. Let's see what y'all talking about. Billy the intern with a PhD. Yeah. Can you imagine if Billy got a PhD? There would be no living with the boy. He's like, you mean Dr. Billy? And then he'd dip spit all over my floor, which he does. Billy, quit spitting dip spit on my floor. Butthole. Jeez, that kid. I mean, you got a perfectly good Mountain Dew sitting right there. Drink it, shove some stuff down in you. It's just simple math, Bill. That's all there is. Crowd strike. Them boys got a bone to pick. That's just they do. Yes, they do. I'm glad you guys enjoy the old tech necks. They are fun. All right, everybody, we are at the top of the hour. This was a fun, we had to help out Kerry a bit today, and hopefully he was helped. We talked a lot about certifications and job interview stuff. All very, very pertinent things in this day and age, my kids. I hope you guys are doing well. I wish nothing but the best for you in life. I'm like everybody here is like almost like family, right? We have this family, right? The Vin Diesel comes out in you at that point. And, we everybody loves to see everybody doing well. So hopefully that is the case for everyone. Kerry, sometimes he can get down on himself. And you need we hope to pick you up, brother. We hope to pick you up. Do not lose hope. Do not lose heart. Because what else can you do? If you despair, that doesn't help at all. Right? So there you go. Yeah, we're done. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, keep hacking.